This is Pet Life Radio. Let's talk pets.
Everyone cheer is Super Smiley. His message of unconditional love. Paws in the air for Super Smiley. Here to save the day.
Kindness is the way. We begin now. Hi, everybody. We are on a Super Smiley Adventure where we know that animals are healers and teachers, and they will always lead us on grand adventures. All we have to do is be open to what they have to say and where they want to take us. I'm Megan Blake, dog trainer and the pet lifestyle coach. On our show, you get pet information, but even better, inspiration and integration of all things you can use for your life with your pets. Our show is inspired by and named after my handsome shelter dog, Super Smiley, who led me on a lifetime of adventures. And I know his beautiful spirit is with me right now and every day. And Smiley had a true calling. He was a handsome shelter mutt. He inspired the world's first kindness program, teaching kids kindness through pets, the Super Smiley Project. We traveled the whole country together, speaking to thousands of kids about the lessons pets can teach us. 2 songs were inspired by and written for him. He was a film and television actor and a therapy dog with deep missions. And Smiley personally knew and loved our guests today, who are television stars, film stars, and forces of nature in the music industry. They just won at MTV's Video Music Awards for the Best Comeback Song. They just played Lollapalooza. Their album Into the Rush was certified gold, and their song Potential Breakup Song was certified platinum, with Time magazine stating it was one of the best songs of that year. They're actually sisters, and together they started their powerful careers as Disney stars, as young actors and singers, starring in the series Phil of the Future and the film Cowbells, and touring the country as the musical duo Aly and AJ. They both continued to gain crazy momentum, with Aly starring in many films and TV series, including iZombie, MacGyver, 2.5 Men, Hellcats, and AJ starring in the Goldbergs, Schooled, The Guardian, and the highly acclaimed film Secretariat and Lovely Bones. And I could just go on and on and on, but let me welcome Aly and AJ. Hey!
Hi again.
It's so great to see y'all. It's so great to see you two again.
You as well. Oh, thank you for such a beautiful intro. That was so nice.
Yeah, I was serious. We could just go on and on and on and on, but I wanted everybody to know how really special and talented and accomplished you two are. And I know you two are huge animal lovers and advocates, that you even had your own dogs on tour with you. But before we get to the pets, let's hear about all the music that you've been creating. The first one of your hits, the Potential Breakup Song, suddenly had a mega rebirth and won at the VMAs. Tell us about that.
It all kind of came together in this very kind of funny way. I mean, we definitely were not expecting the song to take off so quickly on TikTok. At this point, we were not active on TikTok, but we would sometimes open the app and watch some of the videos. But then we started kind of getting this onslaught of girlfriends that were sending us videos of people singing to the song. And it just started this kind of wave of fan appreciation for the song that was, 14 years old. And so AJ and I decided to do a re-release of the song, and we made an explicit version, and it was just really fun. We did a whole, remaster on it, and the production is different, but we tried to stay, true to the original tune still.
Yeah, and I love the way the new video, it starts a cappella, the version that I saw on the internet with slow dancing, right? It's so beautiful. Tell us, how did you come to do that? I love you're not living till you're living with me, and then start so slow and beautiful. Tell us how you came to that decision.
Oh, well, I think with the excitement of Potential Breakup Song getting like a second life, TikTok asked us to be a part of their New Year's Eve special this past year. And they asked us, would you guys do like a medley of songs? And we said, well, we've just released this really important song to us. It's called Slow Dancing. And, there's kind of an interesting process between putting 2 songs together and creating this interesting dynamic between 2 tunes that are completely different from each other. So we said, well, we'll take one of our biggest hits from the past and we'll perform that. And we'll take one of our current singles that really matters to us and perform that. And we blended them together, and we started, a cappella, sitting on the studio at Sunset Sound. And we just decided, well, it would be neat to show people that Aly and I, are kind of a force just with our 2 voices. And sometimes that's all you need, as sisters. And as Blood, you can do a lot with two vocals. And so we decided, let's start out this song really broken down and then rock out, with Potential Breakup Song. And so it became this kind of really interesting mashup. And I think it turned out really cool.
It did. It's amazing. And the acapella, it really draws you in. It is so intimate. You mentioned Force and Blood Sisters. It just draws you right in. And then bam, y'all are right in the camera. And it is so awesome. I encourage everybody to check that out. Go find it. Is that listed under Potential Breakup Song? That's how I found the video, right?
Yeah,
it is. It's on our YouTube channel. So yeah, if you just look up Aly and AJ, it's from January of this year. So it was kind of first performance of the year, which made it really special.
Yeah, so cool. And y'all just played Lollapalooza, right? Tell us about, what is it like being at Lollapalooza? I can't even imagine. Tell us.
Incredible. Yeah, it was definitely a dream of ours to play a festival in the States. We kind of always made this pact that we wouldn't attend a festival until we played one. So that was really the first one that we'd ever gone to. I mean, it took us 30 and 32 years, but hey, better late than never. We got to play on the main stage, which was really incredible. And the set just went perfect. There was kind of not one moment that we didn't feel was portrayed the way that we intended it to be. And it was just, I don't know, it was one of those really magical cosmic moments for us as a band and as sisters. And just, having made music for as long as we have, having never experienced that kind of a crowd before, that was definitely a first.
Yep, that was my first thought when you said that you made a pact to not attend a festival unless you were playing. And then you're on stage probably looking out over the sea of people. I would imagine that'd be kind of mind-blowing, kind of crazy, right?
It was.
It really was. I got pretty emotional right when we walked out because I wasn't expecting that kind of crowd at 1:00. Even though we were on the main stage, we were technically opening the entire event. And so you don't know how many people are going to show up that early, and it's hot. And, it's one of the first really big events back, and it was amazing to be on stage with my sister and hit that first chord, into Pretty Places and just know, all right, we're on a ride now for the next 45 minutes. Let's just soak it up. It was really special.
Oh my gosh. And your brand new album, let's talk about that. It's called A Touch of the Beat, gets you up on your feet, gets you out and then into the sun. And it's named after a line from one of your songs. And I love that video too. The Don't Need Nothing. It looks like it's shot in the fields of California with the pepper trees, kind of a 60s vibe. And it feels like hope, like looking forward. Tell us about that. You write your songs, right? Tell us about the feeling you wanted to create, this intimate message.
Yeah, we ended up shooting it out near where our mom lives in San Ynez. And it was just me and AJ and our director, who happens to be my husband. We didn't really have a crew. We just decided that we wanted to kind of run off and make this really kind of hopeful, like you were saying, somewhat psychedelic video that pays some homage to a movie that AJ and I both really love called Daisies. And it's kind of our personal take on the film. And I really love how it turned out. It definitely had this side that we don't share in a lot of our videos usually. And it had this really playful side to our relationship and our sisterhood that was perfectly captured. And it would probably be up there with one of my top 3 favorite music videos that we've ever put out.
I loved it. And what you just said, I got all of that, kind of the psychedelic, the 60s, the intimate vibe. I loved it. And with both of you, there's so much to talk about: the films, the TV series. I want to touch on everything, but let's go back to some pet connections. Now, when you first started working as very young talents, you took your dog on tour, right? Tell us about your doggies. And AJ, I see you've got your little dog there. Tell us about where Tell us.
We can start with Willow because she's been around the longest. You've met Willow. We've now had this dog 13 years. And she's been on tour with us many times. She's older now, so I leave her behind. She now stays with my mom because it's a lot to be on tour. It's stressful. She's little. She gets a little anxious, especially when I leave the tour bus and go play. But, she's my little rock. She's my best friend. She's everything to me. And she's been a part of songwriting sessions. She's been there when we're approving mixes, when we finalized a track and it's going on the record. Big monumental moments in our career that you actually end up celebrating with a pet. It's really sweet. And it's funny because I think of the title, A Touch of the Beat, gets you up on your feet, gets you out and into the sun. And that feels like a title that, like, if Super Smiley had an album, that's what it was named. And seeing the poster behind you, and when you mentioned the title, I was like, that's what he would name a record if he was putting one out.
Oh, thank you, AJ. That's so, so, so sweet. Thank you for saying that.
I remember well, and he was just such an amazing, amazing pet. And we're so lucky. Aly and I have grown up with animals. We've had dogs our whole lives. At one point in a house, we had 6 in one home. And now I'm down to 1. And, she's my best friend, and she's been a part of every big moment for me. You know, from the moment I found out I was doing the spinoff of the Goldbergs and getting my own opportunity to star in the show, she was with me. And the moment where we found out, you know, we were going viral on TikTok, she was with me. You have all these moments that isn't necessarily with you, and you might be on the phone or you're in the car, and it's always Willow by my side when these big moments happen. It's really cool. And then Aly, you know, her dog Bixby, her rescue goes everywhere. He's like our main tour buddy now, and he's a lot younger than Willow, and he's bigger. He can handle the touring life. I'll let her tell you about her dogs.
Do you want to tell us about your dog, Aly?
I have 2 in my life right now. Money Penny, who's older. She's 12.
I remember Money Penny.
She's been around. I think she's holding out until she's about 20. She's going to live forever. You know, she usually stays home when we go out on the road because she gets a little bit overwhelmed with the bus and the people, and she's little. So she would rather just be with my mom. But Bixby is the dog that I got very soon after I was married, and we decided to rescue because, of course, rescuing is the best. And he's a little Puerto Rican mutt, and he's just the love of our life. He's like our actual child, and he comes out on the road with us, and he's just such a good boy. He loves the crew. He is just super well adapted with people and other pets. He's just a really, really good dog. He's super hairy. That's his only downfall. He has a lot of black hair that I'm constantly fighting from the bed to the couch to the floors. But other than that, he's great.
Yeah, well, it's worth it putting up with some of that. I remember being on a red carpet one time with Polly Peretti. You know, it's for the animals, of course, and everybody has dog hair all over them, like evening gowns and dog hair. And she said, if you're not covered in dog hair, you're just not cool. I don't want to talk to you, you know? That reminds me of. And I want to hear all about your other animals, more animal stories, your connection to horses, how you all brought a squirrel to my house in Malibu, and more Hollywood film and TV right after this break. Smiley, are you still with us? Good boy.
Hey friends, 12 million. That's the number of dogs and cats this year alone that will be diagnosed with cancer or another chronic disease. But we can all fight back with a scientifically proven, all-natural super antioxidant called C60. This incredible Nobel Prize-winning vet-approved product is now available for our best friends, our pets. Do what hundreds of pet owners have already done. Get your pet on the path to a healthier, happier, and longer life. Pet Life Radio listeners will receive 10% off their first bottle. Go to petslovec60.com to learn more. This is a limited time offer, so go to petslovec60.com today.
That's petslove, the letter C, the numbers 60.com.
Let's Talk Pets on PetLifeRadio.com.
Everyone cheering, Super Smiley, his message of unconditional love.
And we're back on a Super Smiley Adventure with VMA winners, Aly and AJ. Hey, y'all.
Hi.
I'm so excited to say VMA winners. That is so awesome. That's so awesome. But first, we just heard a commercial on the break here, and I want to mention something really special and personal that I've discovered for our pets, dogs, cats, and horses. And I hope y'all were listening during the break, because now you all know that I'm always on the lookout for ways to improve our lives with our pets. And you all know how much I loved my dear Super Smiley and my beautiful horse Starfire. And if there's any way I can help our pets live longer with less pain, less disease, I will share it with you. And I've literally found a Nobel Prize winning wonder molecule. Nobel Prize winning. It's an antioxidant over 172 times stronger than vitamin C, with over 28,000 published papers on its ingredients. This is crazy. It's called C60 for carbon 60. That's C60. And my biggest endorsement of it is that my new German Shepherd Anandita is taking it. My mini horse is taking it, and I'm taking it. So I want to personally invite you all to try it with us, and you'll get a 10% Super Smiley Adventure discount. Go to petslovec60.com, and it's all there. It's there for people too. And Aly and AJ, it's so special. I'm going to send y'all a bottle so y'all can try it too. I want y'all to try it.
We would love it. And horse would love it too, I'm sure. So that's actually like really cool. Yeah.
I love that. We're in. Please send it our way.
Oh, thank you. That's so cool. So okay, so on with the show. So Aly and AJ, we've known each other for a long time, and I'm so thrilled for your VMA win and all you've accomplished. But do y'all remember when you came over to my house in Malibu and you brought a squirrel that we were going to put a house up and rescue? Let's tell everybody about our personal experience together with the squirrel in Malibu.
Oh my gosh. I'll never forget this. Squirrel in the yard, a baby, and she rehabilitated this squirrel. And I remember we said, what are we going to do with this squirrel? And you, at the time, you guys were living in Malibu. You said, well, there's like an incredible Malibu sanctuary out here where they take, squirrels who have been rehabilitated and they release them back into the wild in a really safe way. And we made that outing. That trip was with you and Kim. I'll never forget it. And it was emotional because it was a baby that our mom had basically kind of brought back to health. This baby squirrel was abandoned by her mom. And I remember us just saying, well, we trust Kim and Megan. I believe Malibu is the place to be for any squirrel. And, back in the wild. And I don't know if you remember the other squirrel story. My mom always wanted a flying squirrel. And so for her, I think it was her 40th birthday, Aly and I got her a flying squirrel.
Oh my God.
Our life too for a while, but that's a whole other story. But I'll never forget mom rescuing a squirrel in her yard and us saying, what are we going to do with this thing? And you guys said, Malibu, we got to rehabilitate.
And we put the big squirrel house, a big fancy house up in this gorgeous, gorgeous tree. And it was happy living in that tree. And you all also had a pony when you were little girls, right? Y'all have lots of experience with horses, right? Tell us about your pony.
We ended up like co-leasing a horse at our barn when we were growing up as young girls outside of Seattle when we were still living up there. And it was such a wonderful experience. I think it taught us a lot. It gave us a lot of patience and responsibility to look after this majestic creature. And we just adored it. My dream in life is to own my own horse. I would love that in my later years. It would be so neat to just be able to have property where I can go outside my house and my horse is right there and I can just, do trail rides and maybe a little jumping, but just for fun, no competition. Yeah. AJ and I, we've always grown up around horses and felt very comfortable around them. And then our mom ended up moving out to San Ynez and deciding that she wanted to purchase a horse. And she has a beautiful horse named Thei that is such an angel, and AJ and I both ride him whenever we're out there, and it's just so nice. It's so nice to get the therapy of working on such a different level than talk therapy. It's definitely just as healing in its own special way.
It is. I think even in a way it's even more healing because they're so grounded. And big shout out to Carrie, by the way, your mother. Hey Carrie, I miss you. And AJ, I'm jumping all over because we have very little time, but there's so I feel like I could talk with y'all for a solid week, but we're gonna do it on a little tiny show here. And AJ, you went to the Emmys when you were filming the TV series The Guardian. You were playing Farrah Fawcett's granddaughter, and y'all remember Jay Bernstein introduced us initially to each other and to Farrah initially. And AJ, you went to the Emmys. I don't know if you know this. You went on my ticket because I was in Florida shooting my TV series, Animal Attractions TV. That is such a crazy role. So tell us, AJ, what was it like going to the Emmys as such a young television star? What was that like?
Oh, well, I mean, that experience was incredible. The funny thing is, I think that's the first and only time I've been to the Emmys, which is insane, but I'm looking forward to coming back as an adult. I mean, I was, I guess, 10 or 11, and I'll never forget, you're right, I took your ticket and I went with Kim and we had a blast. I remember meeting a lot of really incredible people. And, you're young and you're kind of overwhelmed, but you're just trying to soak up every moment. And I remember not even being that aware that I was a part of a really important show during that time that had really iconic people attached, between Dabney Coleman, who I'm still friends with, and Simon Baker and Farrah Fawcett, God bless her, rest in peace. And it started a lot of relationships that have remained true to me ever since. I'm still friends with David Hollander, the creator of that show. And Dabney Coleman has been a mentor of mine for years. And that was a big moment to meet you guys through someone like Jay, who was such an icon in our industry. And, here we are years later, friends, talking about the time I was at the Emmys at 10 years old. It's crazy. If I look outside of myself and the accomplishments and everything that Aly and I have done at such a young age, it's really, I'm very, very proud of the life we've lived.
Yeah, I'm so proud of you all too. And I'm so grateful to have known you, to have met you, and that we are still friends. And we have this animal connection. It's all amazing. And Aly, tell us about one of your favorite acting roles. Tell us about what you remember, something you remember.
Well, I guess kind of a cool tie-in with our pets and an acting role was AJ and I, we basically sought out to make an independent movie that was kind of loosely based on our life. And we filmed this movie in Laurel Canyon at the home that we were at that point renting. And the movie's called Weep Away for Now. And we ended up actually having Willow and Rhodey. Rhodey has passed sadly, but we had both of them in the movie along with Bandit, who is no longer with us at all either, but she was really our like one of our first childhood dogs. And it's kind of sweet that they're like forever frozen in time on that we all shot together. And every time that I see a fan that makes like a little collage or a photo that's snapped from it and it's of one of the dogs, it just makes me so happy because they aren't around with us forever. So you have these little moments that you do cherish and remember.
I love that. And I remember Bandit too. I totally remember Bandit. We came over for Thanksgiving one year and Bandit was there. And what a beautiful way to put it, that they're immortalized a little bit in the film.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah.
And AJ, you were in the film Secretariat, the true life story about the famous Triple Crown winning racehorse with, oh my gosh, icons, John Malkovich, Diane Lane, and of course the horse. Tell us about working on that project.
That was incredible. There were about 7 horses playing Secretariat during that shoot, and they were all just amazing to work with. I haven't done a lot of film and TV that centers around animals, but being a part of an iconic story like Secretariat was just an honor because, it's one of the greatest athletes of our time is that horse. And knowing his story and, knowing that he's a Triple Crown winner and people to this day know that name, Secretariat, there aren't many where you can really say, oh, wow, that was like the Michael Jordan of horses. And it was an amazing experience. The trainers on set were extremely professional. We all felt very safe. I've been really comfortable around horses my whole life. So I felt really comfortable working with the horses. And so did Diane. She had the most work to do with the horses because she was playing, the legendary Penny Chenery, who owned Secretariat. And it was really cool to see her transform into such an amazing role. And to this day, that movie plays on TV and is kind of a Walt Disney favorite. It's a staple for a lot of family homes. It's got a great message and it introduced kids to a, incredible athlete like Secretariat.
Yeah, I totally recommend that film to anyone, anytime. It's one you can watch over and over and over and keep getting messages and lessons and the beauty from it. And the director of Secretariat used to hang out. We would be in the hot tub at Pepperdine all the time. Like every single night he'd be in the hot tub right when I was swimming. So we used to hang out in the hot tub, right? We all could have talked for a week on this show. But and he was talking, y'all had just done Secretariat and he was going on and on about you singing and the audition. And he said that, yeah, she just said that she could sing and I had her sing. And he's like, oh my gosh, yes, we definitely wanted to sing the end song. Oh, I remember.
I love him. And Randall Wallace and I have reconnected and he's now, back in my circle. We're friends. We stay in touch and he's got a beautiful place in Malibu. And I'm now, back talking with Dabney Coleman. I see him. We were doing dinner once a month before COVID hit.
Yeah.
There's just full circle. David Hollander and I are working together again. I just did a Ray Donovan movie for him. It's just
cool.
So all this past has now become part of my future. It's really amazing.
It is amazing. It's amazing. And I remember your mother, or somehow we would always kind of kid like, oh my God, when they do a movie or something, Megan needs to play their mother. So y'all keep that in the back of your mind too.
I remember
I so want to do that. If it comes up, you don't forget me because I will be.
You also don't age. I don't understand. It's like weird.
You all don't either. I mean, y'all aren't little girls anymore, but. And I also wanted to talk about the first time I saw y'all play. It was after we'd already met, obviously. It was at that little place in Malibu, and I'd never seen y'all play. And everybody knew you were going to be great. You had your guitars, and your little girls, but you got these big old guitars. And we all knew you were going to be great, but we thought it was an AJ, I think you were like 9. It was something crazy little girl. And we thought you're going to be like, little, good, but like bebop, bebop. Oh my God, no. The music was so mature and so deep. And y'all were like 30-year-old trained, mature voices. And everybody was like, what? I mean, what? Who are these 2 little girls, old souls in these little girl bodies, And so I'm just so happy for you that you have kept up with it and it's just exploding.
Oh, wait, I'll never forget that show.
Yeah, you remember.
Yeah,
me either. Yeah.
And it's funny because we recently had like a little Malibu day, Aly and I and her husband, and we took photos where the Malibu Inn used to be. It's no longer like a working bar, club, performance space, but it's right by this big Aviator Nation. And we were like, that's where we first performed.
Exactly.
And 10 and 12 years old. And I think we played a Sting cover and it's
you are
hilarious.
amazing. I had just done a film and the movie director was with us and he had a little girl who was your age, who was AJ's age. And she's a cute little girl, but he was like, what? My child is smart, but these girls here, they're like from some other universe. He was like, what?
That is
That's so sweet.
Yeah, I want to hear more about all the amazing projects you both are working on, your new music single release, and we're on Pets right after this break. And Smiley is always with us. Good boy.
How many of you have pets? My hand's raised. Now think about how lucky you are to have such a sweet little pet in your life, and that pet is lucky to have you too. But unfortunately, there are countless pets out there that don't have a home to call their own. However, Bob's from Skechers is trying to change that. So we developed Bob's for dogs and cats to help pets in need. With every purchase of adorable Bob's footwear or fun, stylish apparel, or even the cutest Bob's pet accessories, Skechers makes a donation to Petco Love to help save shelter pets. And with your help, we've already saved the lives of over 1 million pets and raised over $7 million. So while you're getting style and comfort with features like Skechers' famous memory foam cushioning, you're also helping to save an adorable pet in need and helping another lucky owner be connected with a future best friend and companion, because happiness is having a loving pet by your side. Find Bob's at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, select Petco locations, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
Let's talk pets
Let's talk pets
on Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life Radio.
PetLifeRadio.com.
Hello, my name is Danny Trejo, and right now I am on a super smiley adventure. I want everybody to be on it, or I'll come looking for you.
Everyone's here is Super Smiley. His message of unconditional love.
And we're back on A Super Smiley Adventure. I'm going to say it again with VMA winners, Aly and AJ. Yay! So tell us about your new single, Get Over Here. In the music video, I love the mood, the look, the wardrobe. Oh my God, especially the music, but it's just so cool. Tell us about creating this song and video.
So this song is actually off of our deluxe album. We put out our record, A Touch the Beat, in May. And we really didn't know how many songs we were going to make in the process, but we ended up recording 16 songs, but felt like we didn't need to put out all 16 at one time. So we decided to hold back a few, and our deluxe will be coming out next year. And Get Over Here is one of the songs that will be included, one of 4. And the song was written in Denver with a dear collaborator of ours, George Elbrecht. And it came about very quickly. It was a very natural progression in our session. And it doesn't always work that way. You know, sometimes it's hard to find the song. Sometimes you struggle to figure out the melody or the lyrics. But for whatever reason, this song kind of came to us in one day. And it didn't change much from what the demo was. So you're kind of hearing, when you hear the song, you know, you're hearing the original melodies and those original lyrics. And I just think it's a great song. You know, it's kind of about this desperation for this new love that you found, and wanting this person to, you know, get over to your places as soon as possible, because you can't stand being away from them. And we ended up shooting live footage of us performing the song at the Ace Theater downtown, which was a part of a live stream that AJ and I put on in May. And the footage really turned out beautiful.
Yeah, it did. It's so great. And you mentioned that this was very close to the very, very first, pass at it. And it's so raw, but I mean that in a great way, like real, raw, like not overproduced. It is just awesome. I just loved it. And AJ, I'm moving really quickly. We're about to end the show, but AJ, we were just talking about Secretariat. And at one time you were the spokesperson for a large horse rescue. And Aly, you just mentioned the importance of rescue. Can y'all talk about either rescue or working with his horses, something just for our audience to know how important rescue is?
It's incredibly important. I mean, first of all, I think it humbles us as human beings that there are so many animals out there that need a home. Second of all, it just gives us a new purpose in life. You know, as people, you can just kind of go through the everyday motions of just kind of living selfishly. You know, a lot of times we're just here to serve ourselves. You know, okay, what's the next job I need? What's the next paycheck? When's that coming? You know, and that's fine. That's everyday living. And that's kind of how we have to just manage ourselves to survive. But there's more to life than that. And I believe that involves pets. I believe it involves rescue. I believe it involves finding a true hobby beyond what we're into as people and saying, I'm going to take my time and care for this other thing that won't be able to care for themselves. So I worked with Return to Freedom years ago, closely with Netta DeMaio, who founded it. And I actually became a dear friend with the photographer on the ranch at the time, Kimberly Curl, who's a dear friend and actually owns a wild Mustang here on the property where my mom lives. And every time I visit Santa Ynez, her and I hang out, and we hang out with her horse that she rescued. And she's taught me a ton about just the BLM and everything they're doing wrong. And it's amazing to just kind of sit there and go, wow, life is so much bigger than just what we're dealing with. And a lot of times that involves animals and their vulnerability. So here we are as people to kind of say, I'm going to take, accountability here and say rescue is the way to go. I think it's very, very important to rescue animals.
You all are so well spoken and so clear on your missions and views of the world. And you've not only been advocates for pets and animals, but you are what I call advocates for life. You've been very candid about your struggles with taking care of your mental health, especially with the pressures of carrying shows and TV series in Hollywood at a very, very young age. Can you all tell us about this and maybe, about your songs? This is what reminded me of it. Attack of Panic and the song Listen, both of which seem to me to be anthems for self-care, standing up for yourself. What can you share with us about your advocacy and how important these issues are?
Well, I think that there is still this taboo behind mental health, and whether that's asking for help or just speaking about it openly. I know that a lot of people can be afraid to come to terms with that. And I think AJ and I, as we got older, we found ourselves continuing to write about it in our music. And then eventually, I think, it really came down to us wanting to write an op-ed about just the ways that we grew up in the industry and our personal struggles as young girls in the business. And that, we had really supportive parents that were willing to talk us through many, many challenges and hardships. And I think that, at the end of the day, if you do need help, whether that's talk therapy or going and seeing a psychiatrist, or just, talking about your feelings with a close mentor or someone that's maybe still within your friend circle, but isn't a family member, I think that it's very important. I think that it's very normal. A lot of creatives specifically deal with mental health issues, and there's nothing to be ashamed about. We're all humans. We're just trying to get through this life that isn't always necessarily fair. It can be hard at many times. And we're just here to let you know that you're not alone, and we're struggling with those very same things ourselves. Just because we're in the industry doesn't mean that we are somehow protected from the places that our mind can take us. And we're very grateful to our fans for coming to us and seeking a safe place within me and AJ and our outer community of fans as well.
I love that, because the first thing is just to have the safe place to just acknowledge how you feel. And it's so great that you all are supporting openly everyone. Like you said, just we're all people here struggling with whatever we struggle with. And back to the animals, they are such great support systems, such great little grounding agents. So just one more question back to the pets here. I know that animals for me are healers and teachers, and you both have already touched on this, but what have your animals taught you? How have they been healers for you? Can you talk about that a little bit?
Well, you made a great point when you said they're grounding agents. I think that's the biggest thing that a pet can bring you, is a groundedness, that we are all just struggling to find our way in life. And you look at a pet and everything kind of just stops in that moment. There's a neediness to them, but also a true unconditional love to them that is so visceral between a human and a pet. And my connection to Willow, I tell her every day, she's my best friend. She's really been with me in every moment, good or bad, that other people that are extremely close to me or maybe not even with me in. So it's amazing what pets can do for us. I think not only are they grounding, but I think they teach us a lot about vulnerability and care, self-care. And I think it's important that we take time out of our daily routine to reserve some space for just a walk with your pet. I think that's really important. I don't do that nearly enough, where I really just say, okay, this hour is dedicated just to Willow and I. It's funny, I'm here in Santa Ynez at my mom's place this week just to hang out and visit. I needed some time away, and I've been using this time to just take a walk. I'm going to go walk my friend's mini pony and give her a little hose down. And just that right there is the therapy that I've needed this week.
Yep. I love that. I love that. Now, where can everybody go to keep up with your music? I know y'all are very active on Twitter, YouTube, but just say everything again so we all know where to go.
Yeah, they can just go to our Instagram, which is just our names, Aly and AJ. They can check us out on Spotify or Apple Music, Amazon Music, and our YouTube channel, Aly and AJ. We're still in the middle of releasing new music, so come on by and take a listen. And we're going to be out on the road soon too. We'll be doing a 55 plus city tour starting next late February. We'll be overseas, and then we'll also be back in the States. So come and see us when we play your town.
Well, listen, I know y'all are busy, but anytime you want to come back on to promote whatever, your new album, your next giant award you win, what it is.
Thank you. We love you guys.
Thank you. Hopefully next time we're talking about a Grammy. That'll be the next time we're on.
There you go.
We're so ready for that. I remember when you were little, you were like, we're going to win a Grammy.
Yeah.
And you won the VMA. That's amazing. I'm so grateful. So happy for you.
Thanks. Big hugs to all of you and the pets.
Aly and AJ, I am so happy for you. I'm so proud of you. I'm so thrilled that you took the time today to be with us on Pet Life Radio, and I cannot thank you enough. Thank you so much for joining us on A Super Smiley Adventure. We love you. We love you. Thank you.
Oh, we love you. Love you too.
Thank you. And everybody, feel free to reach out to me at Pet Life Radio or through my website at meganblakeofficial.com or at webeginnow.com. You can find everything I'm doing, my YouTube dog training videos, all the social media, and you can learn a lot of super helpful dog training tips on my dog training videos at my YouTube channel, youtube.com/meganblake. Super easy. And you can also meet with me in person for a dog training session over Zoom. My Zoom classes have been covered by Spectrum News, and we've gotten great results all across the country. And if you're looking to improve or keep your dog's health, be sure to check out PetsLoveC60.com. And finally, thank you also to our super producer, Mark Winter. Mark does our show here and also does my fabulous bumper music that he composed and performs, all about sharing kindness with Super Smiley. And to everybody who loves their pets, thank you all for joining us on A Super Smiley Adventure. And remember, wherever you are with your pets, it's an adventure, and we begin now.
Let's Talk Pets, every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.